Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. We are touring the Mercedes G63 G-Wagon behind me. Now, I must say, I am a bit biased to this car because I love the colour and I'm going to tell you guys why. But I have a huge favour to ask you guys before I start the tour. A lot of you guys haven't subscribed to the channel and it would really help the channel a lot if you subscribed or even put a comment down. It will help the channel expand and allow us to tour bigger, better homes and more exclusive cars. And for now, guys, let's begin this tour. Now let's get into the engine of this car. This is a twin turbo, hand-built V8 engine. Now this actually goes up to 585 horsepower, 0.6 to 149 miles per hour if you get the driver package. Now, the AMG driver package. Now, the thing is with the G-Wagons, you get really used to seeing them here in Dubai because pretty much, I think like 50% of the population, the drivers here, everybody has a G-Wagon. When you're in the UK, these cars do have a presence. When you see one on the road, while you're walking or when you're driving, you really do have a presence. But in Dubai, it's just meh. So, I mean, moving on to the exterior of the car, obviously when you look at G-Wagon, it always has a similar look. They've kept to the retro feel of the car. You've got the indicators which are on the body of the car. You have the Mercedes badge here on the bonnet. And then obviously we've got that famous G-Wagon grille with the Mercedes here. Now the brush guard itself, I mean, it in itself is just a beauty to look at when you look at the front of the car. The brush guard is there for off-roading, and let's just say your car got stuck or something like that. Someone can put the hook on that and then take your car out, which I think is quite a cool feature which protects the car from any damage as well. Now, I wanted to talk to you guys about the fact that when there was the Dubai floods, the Mercedes G-Wagons were the ones that survived. When we were on the roads and we saw them, the G-Wagons are the ones that we would see driving all the way through the floods. However, Range Rover is very similar, has the same specifications, near enough, and didn't survive it. So I have to give it to the G-Wagon. It's definitely won some brownie points from me. Now moving on to here, I mean, the car in itself looks very square, and the only reason they did that is because they wanted to give homage to the other G-Wagons before this one. Now obviously we can see the biturbo, the V8 and the AMG, which the badges that they've added clearly there. But here we have the exhaust on the side. Now, normally most cars don't have that, the fact that they've got the exhaust on the side, and when you hear the exhaust, it is very, very satisfying, especially when you're sat in the car, you put the engine on, it sounds brilliant. Now, the colour in itself, I actually really like this colour. The reason why I really like this colour is because I have a cat that's exactly the same colour as this, and I think if I was going to get a G-Wagon, I would pick this colour. And the interior as well, where they've got the red leather nappa seats, which I'm going to show you guys inside. Obviously we have the doors where they're pretty standard. I'm not a big fan of the doors as such. I mean, you have to push a button and then pull it. There's just so much, there's so much to do. I would prefer for it to be a bit more seamless and easier to open, but I mean, this car is made for off-road. You can do multiple different things with this car, so I assume that the reason why they did that is because there's more safety. Now the doors are made from aluminium and the bonnet as well. Now the reason why they did that is because they wanted this car to be very light and easy and durable and aerodynamic when you are driving it. However, it is still very, very heavy. So it weighs around 2.8 tons, which, I mean, I'm sure they tried to do a great job in terms of making it more aerodynamic and lighter, but it is still very, very heavy. Now, we've got the wheels here. I mean, these are quite large. You've got the AMG badge here, the alloys, the rims. I mean, in itself has the Mercedes badge here in the middle. I mean, all in all, I mean, it's a big wheel. There's nothing really special with this particular one. But moving on to the back of the car, So obviously you have the standard spare wheel in the back, but I do really like this. I think a lot of people really like the fact that it's concealed. It looks very clean, very aesthetically pleasing. And then you have a tow hook here, which can't be removed. It's there, so if your car gets stuck anywhere, it can easily be hooked. I mean, I like how they did that. They've planned every single worst case scenario of what could happen to this car, and they've allowed everybody to just hook themselves to the G-Wagon. Now, opening this car, obviously you've got the standard way that it opens. You push the button, it releases, and you pull it. But let's talk about this. This is such a big boot. I mean, look how much space there is. We've got the red Napa leather, which is quilted, the suede surrounding it. I mean, all in all, I mean, it's quite a big chunk. You could literally fit me in here, lock me in this car, and you've got so much space. You've got 2 lights on each side. So if you are here and you're getting stuff out during the dark, this is perfect. You can actually pull this as well, so you can have a separation, which I think is pretty good. But it's finished off very nicely. I like the fact that it doesn't feel very cheap. I'm not a big fan of Mercedes, if I'm honest, but I do really like the G-Wagons, and I feel like they haven't really spared much cost in the materials that they've chosen, especially for the G-Wagon G63. I'm quite impressed with that. Now, moving on to the side of the car, I'm going to actually meet you guys inside and show you how cool the interior is, because that's where it's all at with this car. Now, before we actually get into the car, I'm going to talk to you guys about the key. Okay, standard AMG logo here, and then, I mean, it's plastic. It's just a Mercedes key, really. I mean, I didn't expect anything. But when you unlock this car, you see everything comes out seamlessly, very clean. And obviously, you open the door, this comes out, which, especially someone being as short as me, this is perfect when it comes out, so I don't have to jump into the car and jump off. Now, you also have roof access with this beautiful piece here. You can actually stand on it and put stuff on the roof. So, I mean, this is pretty good as well. So I think this is the perfect car for a nice small family if you are going camping. And it's great. We've got the AMG logo before we actually get into the car right here. And then you've got the LED light through it. So it looks beautiful. Now, the doors, they are something that people like. It's famous. The reason why the G63 is famous, because you can slam the door and it's okay. It's crazy. It seems that a lot of people like the fact that you can slam the G63 doors and it's completely fine. But you guys want to check out the interior. I don't really know why people care about slamming the doors as much, but hey ho, you know, this is the world we live in, guys. So I'm going to turn this car on. You've got the start button here. You press down the brake. It turns on. There we go. I mean, hear the sound of that. It sounds very beastly, incredibly aggressive. So let's talk about the steering wheel. We've got a little bit of leather here, carbon fibre, and then we've got the flat bottom, which is very uncommon in a lot of cars, especially in SUVs, which, I mean, I think is pretty cool. They've kept to that race car feel, but this is an SUV, so you feel like you have something that's a little bit different. Now, we've got the standard Mercedes badge here. You've got plastic when you're changing the volume. Some of the buttons here are a bit plastic. It doesn't feel as luxurious as you would like. But when you are here, you do notice that red Napa leather, which is quilted on the doors and on the seats as well, which I think the grey and the red really contrast well together. Now, moving on to the display. With the digital display, it's not touch screen. So the thing about this car, you can actually control everything from this screen here, and you just press the buttons. You've got the home. You can control the seats with this like sensory touchpad here. It's kind of like a little mouse. And then you've got the light settings, you've got the massage, you know, standard things that we're seeing in these luxury high-end cars. However, we've got the IWC clock here, and then this you can actually push, conceal it, have more of a clean aesthetic look. I like the fact that it's glass and you can see the reflection. That's really nice. Push the button here, this opens up. You've got a nice amount of storage. You don't actually have wireless charging, which, you know, is not that impressive. Mercedes, you need to get on it, you know. And then obviously you've got the consoles here, the buttons for the AC, control the temperature, etc. And then here, if you're going off-road and you want something to hold, you can hold on to this, which actually gives you more stability. Now, if we open this, you're going to see my handbag. but it fits. I wanted to see if it would fit into the glove compartment, and it does. So you can pull it out, and then you've got that luxurious red leather that we've seen throughout this car. Coin slots here to put your coins here. I mean, it's a bit weird. I'm not a big fan. I mean, no one even uses cash anymore. So maybe they need to have card slots or something. But you know, hey ho, it's there. So you can control the lights here, so you can turn them off and on. You also have a speaker here. I think they're pretty standard speakers. You've got the speakers on the door as well. But another thing that I'm not really a big fan of is that you don't have a button you can press to get rid of the sunlight. You have to do this by yourself with your own hands. I mean, I'm not impressed with that at all. Now we also have suspension mode here in the car, so if you look at this screen, you can actually put it in sport mode, moderate, basic, balanced. You've got a bunch of options that you can actually choose from. So I mean, all in all, this is actually, I mean, seeing how I feel in the car, it feels a little bit boxy. It does. It feels that. And I get that's what they've tried to achieve. I'm not sure I feel comfortable in it, but who knows? Maybe if I take it on the road, I drive it, I might feel better. You do need an elevated car in Dubai, and you do need something that's pretty hard, because obviously you've got so many different weather here. You get sandstorms, you get floods. It really depends on the time of the year, but most of the time it's warm and it's lovely here. So this car is actually perfect for Dubai. So I actually understand why a lot of people actually have this car. Now before we go check out the back, we want to see how spacious it is. We have to talk about the door. Now you can actually pull this lever here, open up the door, which is next to the speaker. You can control the seats here with these buttons. You've got the heated seats, which is pretty standard, and you can actually control all 4 windows with these buttons right here. Now they feel plastic. I'm not going to say to you guys that it feels good. It doesn't. They're just pretty standard Mercedes finishes. You know how it is. I'm not super impressed with the finishes of the car. However, the boot and the space did impress me quite a bit. Now we're going to go check out the back, and I am going to meet you guys back there. So one thing I want to mention before I actually get into the backside, when you are coming into this car, this bit doesn't come out for you to be able to step on it and get in comfortably. So I would actually have to step on this. So it's not actually a comfortable way to get into the car, but certainly not as comfortable as I was when I was sitting in the driver's seat. But as you guys can see, we've got that red Napa leather with the quilt. It looks pretty luxurious when you are in the back. It does feel like a G-Wagon. The seats aren't very comfortable. The headrest doesn't adjust, but slightly adjusts a little bit. But I mean, it feels quite hard. You've got obviously the lights on each side, and then you've got these where you can actually hold on to it if you are going off-road and you want more stability. You've got the AC consoles here and everything. But I mean, all in all, the back in itself is pretty simple. It's just a representation of the front. But you've got the heated seats here, so you can actually have heated seats. You've got the LED light, which you can actually control at the front. You can have different light settings if you would like. But I don't think this car is meant to be a car where you're driven in. This is a driver's car, hence why the front probably feels a lot more comfortable. But this is perfect. For a small family, I think a G-Wagon is a perfect car. Now I'm going to do a sound test for you guys to show you how beastly and aggressive this car actually sounds. This is just insane, guys. The way that this car feels when you're in it, the minute you turn it on. Are you guys ready? Now, I have thoroughly enjoyed showing you this magnificent car. This has been a dream car of mine for a very, very long time. But as I tour more of these luxurious cars, I feel like my tastes change. And I'm extremely grateful for VIP Motors for allowing us to tour this car. I look forward to hearing your comments below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.